Hello, and welcome to V's Kitchen. I've decided to team up with Skinny Foods to create some easy to follow and full of flavor recipes. On this episode, we'll be making my favorite dessert, raspberry and lemon cheesecake crumble. So let's get started. So for this first step, I'm going to teach you how I make granola. If you already have some, or if you've made your own, feel free to skip through. So let's get started with what ingredients we'll need. You're going to have oats. I have here mixed nuts, which are almonds, Brazil nuts, walnuts, and cashews, but feel free to use whichever ones that you prefer. Some shredded coconut, which is optional, but I personally love coconut, and I think it gives it such a crunchy and unique flavor. To that, we're gonna mix in our nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla extract. Once that's done, we're just gonna melt a little bit of coconut and add our syrup to that and put it in the oven. We take it out and then you can add your dried fruit, which here I have barberries. They have a little bit of a sour taste. Again, this is my personal preference. If you like cranberries, feel free to do that. So yeah, let's get started. Once I've chopped the nuts and transferred them to a bowl, we're gonna add our oats, our spices, which I'm using cinnamon and nutmeg, as well as sea salt. Make sure you don't skip this step, please. Now this is all to taste, so you can add more cinnamon, less cinnamon. I tend to use a teaspoon of both cinnamon and half a teaspoon of nutmeg, but like I said, up to you. Once you've added your spices and your salt, make sure to give this like a little bit of a toss. So now if your coconut isn't fully melted or it's a little bit hard, you can always just put it into your pan. It doesn't take very long, it takes like 10 seconds and you should be ready to go. I'm gonna do that with mine because it still is a bit, still a bit textured. Now when the coconut's just about melted, you wanna add your maple syrup to it. You're gonna want kind of a liquidy consistency like this. And to that, we're gonna pour it into our mixture. Try to evenly coat it. After that, just give it a little mix and add your shredded coconut. Like I said, optional, I love it. Make sure you mix thoroughly so the maple syrup and your coconut is evenly distributed with all the oats and your mixed nuts. Once we've mixed all our ingredients together, we just need to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract and give it one final mix. That looks good. That looks about right. Once you've mixed everything into a bowl, you're gonna get your baking tray ready. I like to put like parchment paper over it. I don't want anything sticking or anything overcooking. So I'm just gonna toss it into the tray. Now you don't want to overcrowd your granola. You want to make sure that it is stuck together. Everything is, you don't have any gaps in it. But then if you have lumps that are over it, then it won't cook evenly. Like some will burn more than others and you don't want that. Now this is the part where you can really, again, personalize your granola. I like to have clumps of it. I like some thick, crunchy parts, but I also like some coarse bits. So if you press it down, with either, I'm using here a wooden spoon. You can even use like a pan to press it down, a spatula, whatever you want. Just press it firmly down. That way it sticks together and it's extra crunchy. Okay, now that you see that I've firmly pressed down the granola, I'm gonna put it in the oven. Now, like I said, it can be 20 minutes, it could be 15, just please keep an eye on it. You're gonna wanna turn it halfway so everything gets nice, evenly coated. It's gonna be a golden brown is what you're looking for. You're gonna turn it halfway and then press it down again. And then I'll take you through the next steps. So now that the granola is in the oven, we're gonna get started on our cheesecake. For that, you're gonna need 0% Greek yogurt, light cream cheese. Gonna give that a mix and then add the zest of half a lemon and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. To that, a pinch of salt and vanilla extract, as well as your maple syrup. Now I add a tablespoon. If you want more sweet, you can add 2 or taste it and then add some more. Mix that all through, transfer them into our jars or our cups, whatever you want to put it in. And then we're gonna put a little bit of raspberry jam on top, as well as some frozen raspberries. So first, let's add our Greek yogurt and our cream cheese into a bowl. Make sure they're at room temperature. You don't want to be starting off with cold. Now that we've mixed through our Greek yogurt and our cream cheese, we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients. We'll start off with the vanilla. Then about a tablespoon of the maple syrup. Now we're gonna add half the lemon zest. Now you can use more if you want to. I think half is plenty though. Then you wanna add about a tablespoon of lemon. And then lastly, just a pinch of salt. We're gonna mix that all through and then put them into our jars. Now that that's mixed, we're just gonna transfer them into our glasses in this case, but feel free to use a mason jar or whatever you have handy. Now that you've poured your cheesecake mix into your mugs or jars, just you wanna shake it a little bit. That way it's pretty even. To that, we're just gonna split up the raspberries into each part and then also add our jam. So first, a little bit of raspberries. You just want to save a tiny bit of raspberries for when you add your jam. Now we're gonna add the jam and then just spike it down a tiny bit so that way it swirls really nicely. You're gonna want to add about a teaspoon into every cup. So now that we've put the majority of our raspberries in our jam, giving it a little bit of a swirl, just make sure you give it a little bit of a tap and a shake so it's all distributed nicely. And then you just add the rest of your raspberries. There shouldn't be that many left. So that's our cheesecake part done. We're just gonna put it in the fridge to set for about an hour and then check on our granola. So the granola is out of the oven. It smells delicious. Now, you're gonna wanna let it cool for about 45 minutes. You can even press it with a spatula more if you want more clumsy bits, but like I said, just by pressing it, look at the beautiful bits you get. If you want it less, you could always break it up with your hands, but I would wait till it cools. So now that we've given our granola enough time to fully cool, we're just going to add our dried berries. You could also add chocolate chips or any sort of dried fruit that you want to this. And now mix that through. So I've just taken the cheesecake out of the fridge. It's fully set. Now the last step is just to add our crumble. So that's our cheesecake crumble. It's a great low calorie, low sugar alternative to your regular cheesecake. Let's give it a go. Oh my goodness. I could eat all 3. I'm just gonna retaste this just to make sure it's okay. It's a quick and easy recipe to make, so give it a try and let me know how it goes.